Turning overseas, there are major shifts among U.S. allies in the Persian Gulf. Signs pointing to an imminent abdication from the ailing Saudi king, King Salman, to be replaced by his 32-year-old young son, Mohammed bin Salman, known for wooing President Trump and Jared Kushner at a glitzy Riyadh summit last spring, and for his aggressive foreign policy against Iran throughout the region, including an embargo against his neighbor, Qatar, endorsed by the president himself.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. I decided, along with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, our great generals and military people, the time had come to call on Qatar to end its funding. They have to end that funding and its extremist ideology in terms of funding.
That was President Trump last June, accusing Qatar, a major ally in the fight against ISIS of the U.S., of financing terror. Joining me now is the Qatari Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Your Excellency, thank you for being with us. Been wanting to talk to you to give you a chance to respond for your country against what President Trump alleged.
Andrea, first of all, this is the danger of propaganda. Mainly, the entire campaign started against Qatar, accusing Qatar that Qatar is supporting terrorism without any facts, and it was a baseless campaign. Qatar has been a strong partner with the United States, a strong ally in the fight against terror. We are hosting the center of command for the global coalition. Qatar is a frontrunner also in fighting the terrorism ideology when we are building schools, when we are providing education for those vulnerable societies. Just in the Eastern Asia, in East Asia and Central Asia area, we are providing education for more than 7 million children there, in countries which are vulnerable.
And how many U.S. troops do we have at the base in Qatar now? I've heard the range from 10 to 12,000 troops at that air base from which we fly our missions against ISIS in Syria.
We are hosting around 12,000 U.S. troops, between 11 to 12,000 U.S.
Have you heard any push from the U.S. side to close that base down the road?
Well, they always express their appreciation for this relationship, and which we have in exchange with them. We highly appreciate this partnership we have together with the United States, and there were never any indication that this base will be closed. In fact, we are developing this cooperation further as well.
The Secretaries of State and Defense tried, after the announcement of the Saudi-Kuwaiti embargo, UAE, I should say, also embargo against Qatar, they tried to get this rolled back, and then the president came out in that June 9th session and endorsed the Saudi position. And there's been a lot of talk that it's because of Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, because of the president, because of the way they were hosted in Riyadh. Do you feel you can break this connection between the Trump family and the Saudis and try to have your voice heard here in Washington?
Regarding the support which we are getting from the United States in order to put an end for this, we are getting it across the board from the president and the delegated people, the Secretary of State or the Secretary of Defense.
But the embargo continues.
The embargo is continuing, yes, because of the behavior of the Saudis and the UAE in blockading Qatar and taking illegal actions against Qatar by blockading the only land border, by separating families, and by also undermining and creating an anti-Qatar propaganda campaign. Now, Qatar has remained committed for a solution because we believe that we have a bigger threat in the region. And
what is the threat?
Which is terrorism, the
growing of extremism. What about the Iranian threat? Because Iran is sponsoring terrorism. There's no question about that through Hezbollah and other groups.
Yeah. Regarding our relation with Iran, is really unique. Qatar is sandwiched between two big countries, which is Iran and Saudi. We are sharing borders with them. There are concerns from Iran influence in the region, and those concerns should be addressed peacefully. And this is what Qatar has been encouraging all the Gulf states to do. And in fact, this was the decision of the GCC summit in 2016.
The Gulf Cooperative Summit.
Yes.
Of all of the regions, the countries in the region.
Yeah, in 2016, the decision of the leaders in December was to engage in a dialogue based on principles between the GCC as a bloc and Iran.
But do you see this young Saudi prince as a threat to your future?
We see that there is a diversion in the policy of Saudi and Saudi and UAE from the GCC agreement, which was the engagement. And we see a sense of unpredictability now in the policy of Saudi and UAE together in the region. There are a lot of chaos created in the region, a lot of crises. Qatar was just part of a bigger game plan, which we are seeing now happening in Lebanon as well.
Well, Your Excellency, thank you very much. And we have, of course, asked the Saudis to come on and speak as well. And we give them an open invitation to come and speak about what is happening in their country as well. Thank you very much, the Foreign Minister from Qatar.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.